I can start now? I don't see anybody in the audience, but you can see us. Okay, I can see you a bit. So hello, everybody, and welcome to our panel about sponsorships. So the main topic today is sponsors, brands versus festivals. Are they always on the same page, or they can be a little bit on the opposite side, and how to combine the efforts and the goals, and how to take the most out of these collaborations, the best practices. Those will be the topics we're going to discuss with my guests. I'm very, very proud to introduce you to our guest. First, from Germany, the representative of great and very well-known Reeperbahn Festival, if I pronounce it right, Miss Evelyn Sieber. One big round of applause for Evelyn, please, for a warm-up.
Thank you.
Then from Slovenia, also very well-known in the region Land Festival, Mr. Vladimir Rukavina. Warm welcome for Vladimir. Then from Serbia, representative of Devet Festival, but also you're kind of representative of another brands, of course, like Coca-Cola, and so you're sitting on the both chairs, I would say. Dusan Kuzmanov. And the local guy from Mekken Skopje, Bojan Kochovski. Please, a big round of applause. So I will start this panel just with a little introduction. Could you just introduce your festivals or your agencies or companies with a couple of sentences? Let's start with you, Evelyn. Tell us something more about Reeperbahn Festival, and for how long have you been working with the festival?
Oh, me, 15 years. Oh, God.
Okay, that's not so much, come on.
Yeah, well, I did stuff
Another
before.
15, yeah.
Obviously, I wasn't born then. No, so Reeperbahn Festival is an annual festival, which is both for a public festival as well as an industry conference. It's in the city of Hamburg in September. It's 4 days. We have about 400 bands. We have about 5,000 professionals from all over the world. So it's from Korea to the US to Europe's there. And about 45,000 festival tickets, and we work a lot with brands and sponsors and partners, and we mainly call them partners because they get integrated very much into the festival, both focusing on B2B as well as B2C. So I have two different visions with that.
Yeah, we're looking forward to hear from you. Okay, Vladimir, what about Land Festival, and for how long have you been engaged?
I'm a director of Cultural Center in Maribor, Slovenia, so second biggest in Slovenia after Cankarjev Dom, and we produce around 2,000 events during the year, and some festivals, but the main festival, yes, maybe about 2,000 events, yeah. We take care of 5 halls like this center also, and we do all kinds of things. But the main thing which we are mostly known, it is called International Festival Land. It takes place at the end of June, beginning of July for 9 days. And there is around 25 different stages. Unfortunately, we haven't got any more our famous floating stage, which was floating on the river because our municipality doesn't allow us anymore. And this was the only difference between us and some other festivals, and it was very, very attractive for sponsors, I have to say. But still.
Nowadays.
And well, at these 25 stages, we produce all kinds of things from jazz, rock, opera, ballet, theater, street theater, folklore, just name it. And in the park, we have events for families and for children, educational events, all kinds of things. We attract around 200 to 250,000 visitors in this time. And of course, we need sponsors to finance that because our ticket prices are not very high. We are selling tickets just for some venues, and a lot of events are free, and if they are free, somebody has to pay for it, so that's why we need sponsors, and we still do attract them.
So if any sponsors are around here, Land Festival is the right spot for you. Okay, Dusan, who are you representing today? Because everywhere I go, at each festival, each party, Dusan is there, making business in the first row, dancing. So I don't know, in which incarnation are you today?
It is a bit complicated because my background was actually a music magazine like Urban Bug from Serbia, and then I started with marketing agency, like event agency. I started working for big brands like Burn, Coca-Cola, Heineken, Tuborg, JTI. That all the biggest. And then we made our own festival that was actually art festival. Music is one of nice arts. There is like 9 kinds of nice arts, and we
That's
were
why
so
the festival is
inspired.
called Nine.
Yeah. That's because his name. Then we started doing that, and we wanted to have independent festival with no with no branding at all.
With no branding,
only
and you
art.
spent your life with brands and working for
Yes,
brands, and then you
yes.
decided to make
and
a
then
festival
we
with that.
realized that we can do like art instead of logos and everything. So we just needed to respect the values of the brands, and we gave it to the artist. Artists showed up with some solutions which are not like real branding, no logos, but still everybody knows that that is Coca-Cola, that that is Tuborg, that it is Heineken, that is...
But it's not so obvious at
Not a-
first,
yeah, not-
because it's artistically present. And David,
Because everybody, all festivals wants to hide somehow from the brands and to take the money, but still not to,
Yeah.
to give them to them or here or there. Because
brands
that's
want the
the
opposite.
tendencies of the brands.
okay, we'll talk about this concept in the debate. And now let us represent McCann Skopje. You're from the agency side.
Yeah.
So you're kind of a
Tattoo
link
master.
between those two.
I'm the tattoo
What is your
master.
job?
Tattoo master.
Yeah.
So I'm the managing director of McCann. I've been in the industry for almost 20 years. In the agency industry for 17. Previously, I was a promoter as well. And
Music
in the meantime,
promoter?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did not festivals but parties, DJs, etc. And also in the past decade, I've been a DJ as well. So I have like all the angles.
Combined.
I've played music at festivals, been on the side of the brands because we are working for the biggest brands here, of course, Coca-Cola, Heineken, MasterCard, etc. I have a lot of experience being part of festivals, whether as an agency or as an artist.
You know it all.
Yeah, I'm in a great company because I'm the tattoo master, as you said. So I think we will have a nice discussion.
You hold the strings. Yeah, we're going to definitely have a nice discussion because all of you are experts in that field. So let's start with Evelyn maybe. Reeperbahn should be this so big festival that maybe it's really easy to find sponsors for you. So sponsors are approaching you or not. I would say that not from your reaction, but it's what we think from smaller festivals in smaller countries, that everything is just, settled on the table for you, that there is no effort in attracting sponsors because you're so very well known that you don't have to make great effort to find some new sponsors. So I'm not right, or am I?
No, partially, you're
Partially.
right. Yeah, of course. I mean, we have established, it's our 20th edition next year, and we are very known in the music sector, but of course, because that's the difference between sponsorship or partnerships with people who are from the industry, so it's like the Believes who are setting up, or Amazon Music or YouTube, or who are active in the music field, but then you also have the industry brands. And the industry brands like Coca-Cola or like the beer sponsor or whatever, they have totally different perspectives, and we are in contact with most of them who are engaging with festivals, so they know about us, and they want to connect with Reeperbahn Festival mainly because of the content. So it's not that easy for us. So because the Reeperbahn Festival also is happening in the city, so we don't have opportunities like the big festivals where they have, you just build a big, stage which is branded or whatever, because we are playing in clubs. And so with each and every one, we have to find individual ways of what's the goal of the certain sponsor, how do they want to get involved in the content, in branding, what's their aim. So it is easy to get them, but it's not easy to find the right activation for them.
And how do you do that? What do they usually want? So you don't have these big sites, you know, for some billboards or some big ads. So what is the content you are providing them?
Well, we do have one big space where they can, like, for example, TikTok, they were building a booth there where people could just go in and you know, do their own TikTok feeds, whatever, and that's easy because that's an open square. And but with others, we are talking to Amazon, for example, and Amazon wants to present their new breakthrough artists, and they come to us. Oh, we just want to do something cool, and we just want to do a guerrilla activation and people, and then it's like, you know, we know our city, we know and then we want to be on a roof somewhere. And it's like, yeah, but you know, there's security issues, and then you have to blah, blah, blah. So finding the right solution, it's a lot of work. And actually we're struggling at the moment because a lot of sponsors are cutting the agencies, the creative agencies that are usually, you know, working on the spot. I don't know if that's, you know, that seems to be in Germany the case, because their budgets are getting cut. And before that, they were hiring an agency to come up with a creative plan.
With the content, okay.
Exactly, but because they're cutting this, we still need the money. So it basically gets pushed over to us more.
To make the idea
better.
tailor-made.
Of course we do it better, but you know, at the end of the day, it's the same amount of money that goes into our pocket, but it's the workforce. You need more people.
For the
work
creative side
exactly,
of the job.
to come up with the
Okay.
ideas and everything. So that's a bit of a struggle.
Well, that's a nice question for Bojan. Is it the same story here in Macedonia, or the agency is still the important element, shareholder of this whole process?
Luckily, we are behind on everything with the rest of the world.
In 20
you know?
years,
Yeah,
you'll be at that point.
I hope we're not going in that direction, but currently.
So agencies are still strong in terms of creativity, creative process.
Let's say maybe 5 or 6 years ago, it was not the case, but in the past 5 or 6 years, maybe more, because the COVID is doing a strange gap in between the years, but still, there is the biggest shift is that before it was only branding and, as you said, the billboard, etc., etc. The digital lifestyle and the digitalization of the brands themselves, of the festivals themselves, the sales, the whole experience provides us with tools to measure and to set up KPIs for the brands and measure
We'll talk
their
about
success.
that later as well, yeah.
So this is the main point why they need to do this with an agency.
So they still need you.
So basically, if previously we were like given okay, you just call login and login will tell you where you can set up the stand, you know, on DFest.
That's marketing.
Now for every request that we get, especially from the strong brands who we work with, like even local brands like Skopsko Smooth or Coca-Cola Master, etc. They want a separate communication platform for the festival, you know. So the festival is for this kind of music, its local relevance is this and that, because it's in Doiran or in Skopje or wherever it is. So we have to think of a whole platform and branding, etc., and then go from there to build on content, etc. So I think that we could possibly be living in a potential golden age for partnerships and branding, but the main thing, the key thing is to have on board the creative agencies, the brands and the festivals working together in a symbiosis to build this experience for the participants and for the public and for everyone. Really.
Germany should listen to you and to come back to that thought. Definitely. Okay, Vladimir, what's the case with your festivals and your events in general? What is your experience with sponsors, and how do you approach them, or they approach you?
So the point is that we are the biggest festival, and we started like that. We found out in one moment, 30 years or 35 years ago, there was a crisis, financial crisis, and people didn't want to go anymore to closed halls to buy tickets. And then we found our chance. We said, but they still will need culture. And we started like that we brought the culture to the people. So we built that floating stage at the river, and the people were passing, and we brought all kinds of culture to them. And then we found out, but if we are good for the community doing something like that, so everybody who gets tight with us is also good for the community, and that's what I sold them. And that's how it started at the end of the day. So they were there, they were not present at the stage, never, and I'm still struggling with that. No, I don't want them directly on the stage. I'm trying to persuade them. Like, for example, when you see Wiener Philharmonic Orchestra for New Year, you know, then you see just a small Rolex sign. And this is what I always tell them. Be there, but be in another way. Yes, that's the point. So then we became famous, of course, and we are approaching demographically all kind of men, women, children, of people of all age, people with all kind of interests and a lot of stages. So we have something to sell to all these sponsors, and this is our strategy to do it like that. Of course, we have to think with them. What is their goal? What would they like? What kind of message would they like to give to somebody? And of course, this is something what we can do. The agencies have sometimes strange ideas, so we are struggling with the agencies also because they would like to be on the stage, and this is the only thing.
And the microphone
yes.
and everything.
Yeah, and the point is that we are trying to find more subtle ways to approach to the audience, because this is we are measuring that, and we are persuading them that we are doing a good business. And most of all, we are offering business to sponsors. You have to know, well, will you give me some money? This is a donation. But if I'm offering you a business, we will do that and that and that, and you will pay for that, and we are equal partners. So this is something what we have to divide always. And whenever we say we will do something, we deliver. We deliver totally, and we give, nevertheless, always a bit more, but not too much more, because then it gets in the same sum, and they will, next year, of course, they will think it is in the sum.
Deal, yeah.
Yes. But it is difficult, especially in a country like Slovenia, which is a small market at the end of the day. We are 2 million altogether. Of course, there is Austrian border very near, and Italian, Hungary, but still not smaller than your Berlin. It's called Slovenia. Hamburg. Is your
Don't mix those two, please.
Reeperbahn, yeah.
Delicious
yeah.
hamburger.
Yes, yeah. Reeperbahn, yeah. I was there, I know, yes. Okay, so, and that's how we do that. But it is very, very difficult in a small market doing it like that. And of course, I have to say one thing, I don't know how does it go in your countries, but not so far away, the sponsorship in this transition period, it was very, very connected to the politics. So, and in Ljubljana, for example, we have Ljubljana Festival, which is the richest, not the biggest, but the richest
not the
festival.
best, but the richest.
Yeah, but they're very
Light
good.
is the best.
But there is a lot of influence also of the politics, because the Ljubljana's mayor is helping the festival. That they get so-called, let's say, city fee from all the sponsors, because they have to give them something, you know.
From the sponsors?
To the sponsors, yes, of course.
A small country, everybody knows everybody, you know, so politics and lobbies and corporations on
And
the same
that's
side.
how it went. So it's not like, for example, in the United States, when you were asking, do they find you? Because I was there, I worked there, I studied there also, and it's a totally, totally different approach than, for example, in a small Slovenia.
Dusan, a question for you. You told us that you worked at Devet Festival that really was eager to keep the authenticity. So how to keep the authenticity and the identity to the audience that is, you know, that really wants festival to be specific and true to itself, but also to have sponsors that want to have, as Vladimir and Evelyn told us, you know, brands and logos everywhere. How do you do that?
It was a specific situation. I was always proud that Devet was independent festival. We never asked any money from the government and the politicians and that stuff. So we had to jungling by ourselves, you know. And then we get to the point. The point was to understand the needs of the brands, our needs, our values, and then to find some zone of potential agreement. And that was actually, I don't know, we had our main assets was that we have 1,000 artists, all kinds. There was
How do you pay 1,000 artists without, you know, sponsorships?
that was the main point. We were all volunteering. The artists, the management,
Everybody
the
was
organization.
volunteering.
Everybody did something to
For greater cause.
to give themselves so it can happen. That was it. And everybody felt like at home, because that was our own point. We didn't have money to pay big money for the artists, but we had a situation to make them, for that 9 days, to feel like at home. And it was amazing.
And for how long did it last?
It lasted till after COVID.
Ah,
Because
COVID
before
killed it.
COVID, we had amazing festival, which was like, everybody wants to be there, all sponsors, just at the end of the festival. It was like, the last night was like 10,000 people in the old brick factory, where it was like safety third, you know, no way to be like everything in like regular conditions. Some British guy came and told me like, hey, this is so amazing, but I can give you 200 reasons why this couldn't happen in UK. I was like, okay, let's do it.
It was a long night
And then
then.
COVID came.
Telling all the stuff.
COVID came, and our main playa, our main
Site, venue.
site became a parking for trucks and buses.
So capitalism killed it, not
Yeah,
COVID.
Yeah, yes, that's it.
And do you have any plans for the future
we're looking
of
for a new
Devet?
location. If it happens, it happens. If it's not, we have nice memories.
Ah, yeah.
But anyway, we made that deal with the sponsors to
How do you do this?
actually
deal?
we understood their needs. We understood their values of the brand, and we showed that to the artists. And artists came with totally different approach and different things.
Mm-hmm.
For example, we had in 2016 we wanted to do big concert with Macedonian conductor Gian Emin and Juan Atkins. It is like Detroit superstar, one of the founders of electronic dance music, and you know. And then we also with the Belgrade Symphonic Orchestra. So we had it, and it was like in that time whole festival costed like 69,000 euros, and this project was just 70. And I was like,
How do you
what you
do
gonna
that?
do? This is more than we have. And then we asked Coca-Cola, can you pay like half of this? And I was like, yes, and we can have this. No, you cannot have the branding on that part because this is crazy, like art as fuck. And it was like, okay, then what you gonna give us? I will ask architects. And architects made the venue in a shape of like zone construction, some like crazy construction for like 300-400 people, and it was just red with the white stripe like this, like Coca-Cola's ribbon, that white wave that was presenting Coca-Cola's ribbon.
Yeah,
I was
and they said, okay.
You will give us that for this? Of course, you will pay for production of that, but you will give me beside that this. And I was like, that's it, it's amazing. And
So they said
that was
yes.
actually our approach. They didn't have any logos there, but they had this red something with their ribbon, and everybody knew that that's Coca-Cola. And
Everybody
even
was
on
happy.
that concert, lights was a bit ready, you know, but nothing but red. And that was like enough to have join that zone of potential agreement that I thought.
Nice memories.
before.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I want to experience that again. Please don't give up.
And I remember bringing a truck to make a stage for you.
Yeah. And I did it by myself.
Hey,
I
but
played also
we
there.
don't have money for this truck. Oh, just send somebody to the warehouse to pick it up.
I was nailing also
To the
something
storage,
on that
no, very
stage.
well.
Everybody was doing everything we can, but it's a nice liberal
Thank you for
left-wing
nice memories.
story, and yeah, who knows if it will going to happen? But it's really inspiring, I would say.
But also, I think that's the difficulty these days, because sponsorship, they always want the digital part to be involved. So this could work for a festival on-site, you know, the people
But
experiencing
also
it.
everybody
but-
recorded that venue because it's
And that's-
something that nobody saw before.
Yeah, but then it's the question, like, is it possible, maybe in this case it was, but is it possible to transfer this to digital so people
Of course,
still,
everybody are
still
recording.
recognize it?
Every visitor of the festival, when he came there, was going to the party
Yeah, that's
inside
right.
that venue, and they were recording
Yeah, and
venue
shared it
with
all
all
over
that.
the internet.
Everybody knew that it's
Yeah, because sometimes it's too big and then you just don't recognize
is
it.
like-
But
this
if
was
that
like,
worked out, but it is a
maybe
genital
50
difficulty.
meters, but we had 2 hectares.
You cannot
venue.
miss it. You cannot
Yeah.
miss it.
You
So you
cannot
see,
miss it.
Oh,
next,
nice. I want to see a picture.
next
I'll
year,
show you.
Reeperbahn is all in this way.
Oh, no, we have a local Coca-Cola who share our values very, very much, so
Yeah.
we are set.
Also,
with
next
Coke.
year, they asked us, hey, can you help us with we have some limited edition bottles, and McCann gave us some shitty proposals.
You see how the deal are made at Pink Conference.
And then we engaged our street artists. That was like, even the refrigerators, sponsors to refrigerators, was painting in the values of brand, the colors of brand, and values of brand. And we had like 50 street artists that everybody got his own refrigerator, and he made his own piece of art. So every refrigerator became, the cooler became a piece of art. So that was like, and there was like, oh, can't wait to see our next sculptures.
Yeah, it's-
Because, and they gave us like Blanco coolers, and they painted it. And it was like nice for us even to show them, not like to put them there just somewhere that nobody sees it.
Yeah, yeah.
So the collaboration with Reeperbahn, I can see this in the
And
future.
then we did
Yeah,
that
I'm
project.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we did that
I'm just
project
letting you
actually
go.
for 2 years,
He does
these
his
limited
work.
edition bottles, with the best street artists and designers from Serbia. And we were proud of that. Also that artists got some money from Coca-Cola because we didn't have money to pay them. And they just came to contribute. And that was
Yeah,
like,
we do
and
that
whenever we have a time, whenever I have a chance to say thank you to the artists and give them this like job, like commercial.
You give them a fridge.
I give them I give them opportunity to work with big brands and
Thank you for
Yeah,
pitching your project to
Yeah, we
us.
do that with St. Pauli, which is the coolest football club
Yeah.
in the world.
Which one?
St. Pauli,
St. Pauli.
in Hamburg. It has the cross,
Yeah.
the skull, and the
Skull.
so big fan. But so we have a collaboration with them, with local artists who are producing our merchandise. So because they have, they also have, high value and also sustainable printing that we wouldn't be able to afford. So we have a collaboration with St. Pauli, who's producing the merchandise with artwork of local artists. So that kind of, in the little things, but I'm listening very carefully to what you're telling me.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
when,
that's
when
what
it
we are
happens,
for.
you're so
Come on.
proud that you managed to
It's
to connect it.
lovely, yeah, absolutely.
And also for brands, you made superstar of them.
Yeah.
They
Superheroes of
you don't need
creativity,
to,
and not only
to feel like,
business.
oh, this is small thing that I did for you. No, you made superstar of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is, from the context, driven from the context. If you somehow talk them into that kind of job. Bojan, there's a question for you. How to approach these bigger brands? Now we heard this really different approach that Dusan gave us.
Yeah.
Do you have those kind of creative ideas tailor-made for specific brands?
Yeah, I mean-
or you have, some agendas that are applicable to all the brands? What's that?
It's important first to identify the type of festival. This type of festival he was talking about
It's
is
unique.
a very unique, I'd say 1 in a million.
It shouldn't be 1 in a million. Every festival, the festivals in the world are giving like 30% of their budget to non-music content.
Yeah.
That's the point. That non-music
I mean,
content,
and-
what the people will do between the music
Yes,
acts.
and I just wanted to add that today with these digital tools and everything we have, it is possible more than ever to do this kind of subtle art branding, and then let the brands tell their stories and make their experience for the festival happen through engaging, for example, as his example, some artists, maybe also, I don't know, go even beyond music, and then find maybe some actors that are popular on social media, and then follow them through their journey on the festival. They will tell that
Like
they
influencers for
are,
the
yeah,
festival.
but maybe not influencers, but micro-influencers, I'd say,
Okay.
maybe a little more artsy types of characters who can tell the brand story and their journey as well up to the festival and at the venue, without putting the brand in everyone's face, you know. So it's today it's possible more than ever to do this kind of subtle kind of branding. To answer your question, it's always different. I mean, it depends. Sometimes when we how should I say, when we hit the bullseye with a platform, we stick with that platform for the next for the next few years for that festival, because it's always a communication platform for the brand for the specific festival, you know. So if it hits the bullseye, if we see the feedback is right, the client is clear that he has a nice ROI, he has his KPIs aligned, so we stick with this platform. Then something changes, the platform becomes too much present, we can adjust it, we can change it, etc. But it's always different and it's always tailor-made.
But also for the artists, there's a difficulty in it's so easy to do everything, you know, in the digital way, but also, especially because the brands, they want to involve the artist, because they're there for music. The artist, getting the artist to agree to work with a certain brand is one thing that is sometimes really tricky. Then you have the artist's approval, then you need to get the license from the label.
Yeah.
Then the negotiation starts, which is never ending, and you end up, you know, okay, maybe you get 5,000 euro from a sponsor, but you know, you pay shitloads of money on license and you put in so much work. So sometimes...
Do we have it here in Balkans as well, or is it just goes like
Yeah,
that?
but we're doing it the opposite way.
Yeah.
We first
what I
asked for
thought.
the license.
I'm
Hey,
moving
can you do this
here.
for this? And they said yes.
You
Sign
have to
here.
move
Thank
here,
you.
Evelyn.
I mean, there are-
Everything is so easier
Screw
here.
Germany!
Screw the law.
sometimes it's good to be behind, you know.
Don't
A
follow,
bit
don't
late.
follow.
You know?
Vladimir, you're somewhere in between Western and Eastern civilization. How does it work in Slovenia, and how do brands tell their story at your events, at your festival?
As I said in the beginning, we have so many different ways to express. So we have artists who are singing, but we have also families who are, I don't know, doing something, making, producing, and so on. And of course, then we try to find the soul of our sponsor. We are trying to persuade them not to put him on the stage, but to find something, how to do it. I don't know, for example, there was an insurance company,
Okay.
and we didn't want to put them on the stage, but we said, you know, but there are small children there, and they are driving in these small cars, go-karts. What if you do it like that? You just issue them their first driver's license with
Smart.
insurance, Zavarovalnica Maribor or Triglav, whatever it was, and of course they will have their first driver's license, and they probably, when they grow up, they will be your first. Oh, excellent idea, they said, and they paid us for that. And there are a lot of things like that, you know, which we still always have to invent to work with them. Of course, there is also, I don't know, a big branding, and there is also electronic and so on, but not on the stage. And of course, we are trying to persuade our sponsors that people remember if they give them something, if they give them in the way, if they make it possible that a big star comes, or if they give them, for example, I don't know, when it's raining like today, so hand out, it's a a jacket which doesn't cost from China nearly nothing, you know, but people wear that. And for example, we were just waiting for a rainy day because the bank prepared 10,000 pellerinas, and then it started to rain and the whole festival land was yellow.
And
they
you said,
took
yes,
pictures,
the
yes.
rain.
And people are still having these coats there, you know.
It's the first time I'm hearing the festival owner to say yes to rain.
Yes, of course, yeah. Because we make our festival in every weather, so that's the point, yeah. And a lot of other innovative tricks. So, and of course, we have problems also with selling alcohol. We cannot have the brand, I don't know, Heineken or whatever, there, and then we have to find out how. So we are not promoting the beer, but we are promoting brewery, which is very good, I don't know, for the people.
You have
and
to be
so on.
creative, yeah.
Yes, and we have to be more and more creative, and the sponsors are paying less and less money. So as somebody said before, they are cutting their budgets. They are not any more creative agency which will do that. So we are thinking also this creative part for less money. And we still have to be very happy to get that money. And then at the end of the day, so I don't know, a lot of banks in Slovenia, they are not Slovenian anymore. So the guy who we are talking now, he's a Hungarian. He doesn't care about Slovenia, so how to persuade
culture.
him to give money for the culture, you know. And this is capitalism, and they are getting, I don't know, more and more at the bottom line every year, and for sponsorship, less and less.
Really.
But this is
Sad
this is
story,
how it
yes.
goes.
There
Yes.
was a time after, at least I can only speak from the German perspective, when the budget were frozen for marketing activities during COVID. So they still had the money it was until the end of 2023 that they could spend it. And then, you know, it's the war came up, and, you know, and it's a crisis everywhere. All the industry are cutting budgets. What's the first to cut those kind of budgets? So we had such good talks, such good interest with big brands that really want and that really were ready to sign. And then it's like, shit. They just took away all the money. So that's from the industry part. That's where, at least in Germany, a lot of money was lost. So that's the case. They really have less money. You have to struggle. You have to fight more. You have to do very, very professional pitching and very creative work with integrating it.
And then we are starting to talk to the authorities at the end of the day. We say, okay, we did the great job, and we were financing all the festivals, everything ourselves, but you have to know how important is culture. For example, the COVID time, what did the people do? They went to culture. They were reading books, they were listening to the music, they were watching TV, and we also did, I don't know, performances even during the COVID when it was forbidden. What did we do? We put artists on the balconies, you know, so they were playing to the people which were down. We had to be creative, but the state has to know if the culture dies, if the festivals like that die. Oh my God, building it up, it lasts 30 years and it falls down. Just
Everybody
like that.
agrees, I think.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah.
People from
Certainly.
culture.
And it's a even more and more difficult job every day, with less and less money, and with the fees which are higher every day. We know that, and so at the end of the day, you're asking, why are we doing that? Everybody is earning.
Why
at
are
the
we
end of the
staying
day,
in this
and
business?
Why are we
Soul.
doing that? Yes, for the soul. Yes,
That's it.
I've got a big
That's the
soul, you
point.
know, after
Because
35
we are
years of
crazy.
doing that.
You
Yeah,
know,
but still,
one
yes,
interesting
we do
sentence.
that. We do that because it is like a hobby one for us, I think so. And that's why. And we are very glad that we are doing a business which is like a hobby one for us. And we are even getting paid for that. Well, not as good as we should, but at the end of the day, it's not
The
so
one
bad. To work
really interesting sentence
Yeah.
that John, the manager of Prodigy, said once to me, is like, when I was so like thrilled that I'm doing like Devet, and it's like everything is amazing, thousands of artists, people are going, coming, you know, smiles like this and everything, and are you making money? So, no. I say, whenever I did something that is for my soul, I never made money, and I always gave the money from my house. And that's the
Always
point.
opposite today,
Okay,
yeah.
sometimes you like make money. Sometimes you win for your soul. That's it.
Yeah, that's why we are coming
But
to
it's
Pink
not a
Conference.
matter of
Sponsor.
making, it's not the matter of making money. We don't have to make money. No, we just want to break it even at the end. But if you...
Even that is hard.
yeah,
Break even is
the
That's,
come
the,
is-
that's like so difficult when you're working with artists. We had
Yeah.
one partner, our
Yeah.
partner was the artist, and every time we're like, okay, you have budget, like this and this, please spend it and don't do anything more than that. Oh, don't worry, I have it under control.
And then make a lot of money.
we make the festival, we like, and I'm like, okay, we're good, we even earn like 5,000 euros. It's like nothing for such a big festival, but like we even earn something. And then he comes, hey, I promise this and this and this. Can we pay this? 10K in minus. I thought, and
No
then
way
and
that you
next
can make
time
profit.
I give him assistant. I say, okay, you're going with him. Whatever he says,
You say
you're
no.
writing
You
down
say no.
and sending me the
receipt.
info to put in a budget. Because if somebody is all the time with him, and then he's coming
Yeah,
and
and-
he said, hey, I did everything, but I promised something. I said, I already know this, but also this. Again, minus.
Enthusiasm is a killer for budget. That's definitely. Yeah.
We're
and
not friends anymore. I'm joking.
do you have any fuck-up stories with clients, I mean with sponsors? Somebody who you have to refuse to collaborate with, or somebody who is dissatisfied with the outcome of the collaboration? Please tell us some juicy elements, juicy parts of your business, apart from not earning any money.
Well, juicy. We decided last year to, because of values, you know, Reeperbahn Festival is very much also governmentally funded in a large portion.
Yeah, but you have an amazing government after COVID. During the COVID, you got like 90% of refund, so everything.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
now
Fast
wait,
food.
We were-
Dusan,
we
now
were
wait, what
unlucky.
will go on?
Yeah, now we need to see what happens.
Yeah, now we keep
But,
fingers crossed.
But Reeperbahn Festival has always been, also the team is just very focused on values and you know, we live in that bubble very much. When I talk to like my husband as an engineer, he's like, what are you talking about? It's like, okay, whatever. But so we had a cruise ship sponsor that wanted to, and that would have been big money, and they wanted to sponsor it, but at least in Germany, it's a very, tricky topic with pollution and all of this, so we decided
had to refuse.
not to work with them, yeah. I don't know actually, to be honest, if we can afford this next year. To
Really?
Because of
So you
course
have to
it's-
swallow a
there
little
there is a financial reality, and that, you know, with the new government changes and everything, but we will need to see and find angles, because just working with them on that level won't work.
What will your audience tell
Exactly,
you then? Yeah,
exactly.
because
And
they're
that's the
very
balance.
sensitive about,
And
you know,
that's the balance, and I think
about
you
the
need
image
to-
of the festival.
You need, exactly, and you need to, sometimes you need to explain things, and sometimes you need to engage the fans and engage, you know, the audience, and explain them, you know, listen, we are all in this together, and you wanna, you don't have money to pay more on ticket prices. We're keeping the same ticket prices as last year. So, because we know it's expensive for you guys, but you know, if you go in the supermarket, things are getting more expensive. If you go, you know, hotel rooms are getting more expensive. You see what happens, and you still want to get more paid in your job. So we are paying more. So where does the money come from? So please bear with us, and you take them by the hand and take them a little bit with you on the way, so they understand a little bit better.
We keep our fingers crossed for the future.
You never
We'll
know.
see. Yeah, you never know. Vladimir, did you have some experience with the brands that you're not in line with in
Yeah.
this
Well,
ideological?
there were
you.
difficulties. Now it is a long time ago, we could say, but for example, alcohol, tobacco,
Okay.
they used to be our huge sponsors at the end of the day. So
have money.
They have
They
money
have
still, and they
money.
would like to
They want
People
to.
like to
come
get
and
high.
there. But at the end of the day, some of the things they are not for sale. So if we are a family-oriented festival, we cannot afford ourselves to do something like that. And for example, another way, crypto millionaires, you know. So how
Really?
would
They wanted
like
to invest?
Yeah, they wanted to invest. And what
In
we
land.
say, okay, probably we will, if they give us, but a lot of money, we will allow them that there will be places at the festival where they could pay with this
Okay.
crypto, but not in the way that we would, I don't know,
Promote
recommend
it.
to the people and promote it and so on. So these are some moral issues we have to struggle
But it's a great
with, yeah.
compliment that that's huge,
Yeah.
huge companies like crypto want to
Yes.
invest in your festival. I mean,
yeah, we are.
wow.
But there is one thing which we forgot to say, but it is the biggest festival in Slovenia, so we have to, we can sell something, you know, so because we are the biggest.
Yeah.
If we would be smaller, they wouldn't take care of it.
Right, but you shouldn't sell out because people will notice that.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
people will notice it. You know, South by and the Great Escape last year had a shitstorm, and I think it was like, what, 40% of bands cancelling on South by just
What
the
happened?
days before the festival, because it was South by. It was the army was becoming. They were always a sponsor, but they became one of the major sponsors. And
More
then, of course,
visible,
of
so
the
people
war,
notice it.
And then also in the Great Escape, it was same thing happened, and it was a Barclay card. So the Barclay was in the bank was a big sponsor, and then the artists picked it up and and they were highly investing in the war in Israel, and so they were highly involved, and so
Artists cancelled also.
so many. Like I know, for example, South by from Ireland, because I'm friends with Angela, who runs the Ireland Music Export Office. She said all her bands have cancelled. So
Really?
none of the Irish were performing at South by.
Could something like this happen in Balkans, that artists cancel because of, I don't know, some sponsor that is not in line with their beliefs? Artists are telling this or not? No? You would play at any kind of festival just for the money?
Maybe Coyote. Maybe Coyote can do something like that.
It said no. Don't want to play. If Armin's involved, I don't want to play. Maybe now's the time to open the Q&A session. If you have any comments, please feel free to comment and tell us your thoughts about the scene.
But there
Anybody
is a-
wants to comment?
There is another thing which we probably forgot to say. How do we promote them? At the end of the day, we, the festival directors, are the ones who say, oh, but they are good. They are good for the community, because without of them, it wouldn't happen. Of course, when we say that, sometimes we even mean it like that, but we are, let's say, very, very expensive horse at the end of the day. And we are selling that. That's
Yeah,
the
you're
point.
selling your authority.
Yes.
Yeah. to
Their
the people.
point is to connect with love marks, and festivals are love marks, something that people is important to people. And if they are showing up there with us, who are like good guys, that's it. They already won. Okay, now in this moment, it's like more like, okay, give me, what will I earn at your festival? What will I sell? And the really, I think, bad mistake with the festivals in this moment is that they are raising prices of the drinks and everything on the festival venue. If you want to buy beer, for example, in Serbia, like there is like, I don't know, average salary 500-600 euros, 7 maybe. I'm not sure now in this moment. But at the festival, you have a ticket for a festival ticket, which is like, actually not festival, concert ticket, which is like 30, 40, 50 euros. And then one beer costs like 6 euros. It's like crazy expensive for our people, And then this brand that already gave like 30, 50, 70,000 euros cannot have his return on investment like to sell like 30,000 beers or 50,000 beers, because people have like, I don't know, some 10 euros for that event. And that is like, okay, we'll all drink 4 of us. Okay, we need like, you and me will spend for one round, you and you will spend for another round. We
You pay
won't
in
have like
rounds in
4
Balkans,
rounds,
just to explain.
which would be like normal to happen there. And the sponsor will be happy because he sold some amount of that products there.
Yeah, but
Because
that's also sometimes.
that's on
sometimes
us,
the-
that's
the,
on
The
promoters.
margin gets eaten up by the nice things that you do. Because that's something that if you're working with sponsors, that gets lost on the way easily, because you want to do something creative and you want to innovate and find some good like printing those driver's licenses and stuff, and then their money goes down along the way, because at the beginning you talk about 10,000 euro, but then it goes down, but that cost of that card, that stays the same. And a lot of times when you're innovative, you're thinking about new jobs, it's production costs versus the income, and then you also you really have to do the calculation right. You have to include your own staffing costs, and it's not an issue of making a win, but it's exactly as you said, being sustainable in the market is breaking even, and that's something that these days also often gets lost, because you want to find innovative production costs versus, and then the price tag goes down through the negotiation phases.
And there is another issue which didn't happen before. So nowadays they want to get at once, not with their image which they are building to the festival. No, okay, image has to be built, but we want to sell enough beer or whatever to
Very
get it
concrete
back.
But that's
numbers.
okay
Yeah.
if he's giving you discount for that beer,
Yeah.
money and discount for that beer. You don't need to earn 5 times, earn 3 times. And you will sell more beer, and the people, your crowd will be happier.
Boy,
Your
what is your
crowd will be
comment on
happier,
that?
the
It's
sponsor will
again-
be happier. Next year,
They
when you
buy
said,
tickets.
hey, I sold 50,000 beers instead of 20,000 beers,
Yeah.
he will give you more money for that, because you're his point of sale, amazing point of sale. And it will lead to next and next and next stadium. Like this, it looks like you want to take money now, and what about next year? I'm not unhappy. I don't want to
If
give
you are
money.
selling beer, but at our festivals,
Okay.
we are not selling
They're
beer.
family
you know?
festivals.
But
Yeah,
listen to me,
that's the point.
I have small
No,
festival
but
in Belgrade.
it is
It's
not
called-
us. It is not us who is selling the beer. We are organizing the program, and we need the money for the program. So,
And who's
of
selling
course,
client.
we establish stands, or the city, the restaurants, the bars. They are selling beers, and they get a lot of money from them. They get, I don't know, branding and everything. But we need the pure money to produce the stages and to produce the program.
But who is on top of chain of command? You. You are
Uh,
saying to the
No,
restaurants.
but the restaurants are
the
there already,
conditions
so
and-
I
and
can
bars.
just
I like
ask
this
them. I cannot
discussion.
close them.
It's a pretty specific situation.
Yes.
If it was the brands, like you're saying in your example, for example, it's Heineken or it's Coca-Cola, etc. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. It is a thing of working together. It's again about building
Finding
trust,
partnership.
partnership, and then
Partnership.
explaining,
Finding
finding
the
a
zone
way.
of potential agreement.
Yes, finding a way to explain to the brand that he can obtain his ROI in different ways. For example, image-wise, or I don't know if it's MasterCard through transactions or etc. But give some discount, do some leverage in order to have a a nice long-term commitment and partnership, and people to be satisfied at the end of the day,
And
the visitors.
How do you measure the success? What do you present to the clients, to the sponsors? How do you measure?
Through reports. We do the reports together with the festivals.
It is like 60% exact report, 70.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Meaning that
I mean-
they cannot find out what was really sales, and you need to find what
Yeah,
is
no,
okay
the
to
sales
them,
reports
and
we are
then
not
at the
doing.
end they don't have
Yeah.
the result.
The sales reports we
count
are
it
not
with
doing.
your-
The client, because usually the client is selling or the festival is selling so this is a thing between them or the client to sort out for himself. But
Everyone
regarding the communication, it's like a very precise report actually, because it's mostly digital metrics, from social media, etc., and audience metrics that we get from the festivals as numbers. Those I don't know how correct they are, to be honest.
Dushan is laughing. We all
Dushan
know
is
about
no-
Dushan.
yeah,
Dushan.
because
I'm
I'm
sure
on
he
the
knows.
both sides. You know?
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
I'm
know,
just
you're sitting
saying
on both
really
chairs.
trying to make both sides happy. Because that was my from beginning.
But you
When
have to
I
agree-
realized that,
you have to
I was
agree-
like, okay, I want to take from the rich and to give to
You're
Yeah,
super
to
hick.
our kind, you know, to
But
have
you have
this.
to agree, we all,
But
We
we all
say-
still,
love,
you need to fulfill something to get that money.
we all love a nice report, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Well, one thing where we are already, and I hope that you're not following on that one, is the KPIs that they are bringing. So
Yeah, yeah.
so these days, like Amazon Music, best example, they were not very strong, or still are not very strong in the German market. So they wanted to brand building at Reeperbahn Festival, also because we have such a big B2B audience. They wanted to be approachable and stuff. So they had a huge budget for, you know, actually just, you know, putting logos on, bring brand awareness and all of this. But because their budgets get cut, and their, you know, the KPIs and the OKRs and you know, all the measurement that comes from their executives, it's like, I want to have it measured. I want measured.
Yeah, yeah, of
So now it's like, okay, how can you measure brand building? You can't. So now it's finding new things that you do with that sponsor. So it's integrated, and they're like, well, we didn't have that KPI, so we can't have that advertisement the next year because blah blah blah. So it gets really, you know, the money gets less, and they need to find ways how to follow up, and that's on events. Like, honestly, even if there's in your newsletter, it's like, hey, you have a discount on Amazon Music if you sign up here. Nobody's using that, but it's still,
Nobody's seeing it.
but it's so they don't see the brand building. You know, people still have seen it and have read it, but not enough people have signed up, so the money's gone for the next year. And you as a festival have no influence on that.
Yeah, no control over it.
None.
Yeah.
How? I think you have to make it interesting for your crowd, and that's it.
Yeah,
and
well,
you're
but
doing
the
it,
do- Dushan will
If
make
it's
a
city
strategy.
product,
He's crazy.
then put it in some nice
Put it in-
nice shape,
A fridge. on the
frame,
fridge,
yeah.
on
nice
the
frame.
fridge.
take shit and
and you
put
got
it
the
in
piece of
gold.
art.
Nice.
Piece
Believe
of
me.
art. Everything is sold by a piece of
we
art.
tried
Everything
that.
is okay, but a busy background.
But sometimes there, you know, at the end of the day, there's a reality check when it comes to KPIs, because you can't fake those numbers. You can't make it nicer.
Yeah, not all of them depend
Yeah,
on
not those.
on
That's
you.
the point. The point is that festivals are taking over part of agency's job. So
Yeah.
you need to be creative, to put your effort, to make your efforts that your artists are doing some interesting stuff that will make it interesting for the crowd. Because
Artistic point
even
of
if
view
it's
by
shitty,
Dushan.
if it's shitty product, but Ida says like, hey, look at this shitty
then
product, but it's
everybody-
funny shitty product.
everybody buys it.
will
I'll
take
buy
the
it.
funny
Do you
shitty
have
product.
any question from the audience? Because we have last minutes to play with you.
Where's Logan?
Any questions?
We've covered
Everything's clear.
Hello.
We covered everything. Ah, okay.
Yes, hi. I'm here in the
Okay.
shadows.
Okay, I see you.
Hi, I'm from Poland. Anna, you work in a CMO, but this doesn't matter. I'm an artist, and from artist perspective, what would you say to somebody who wants to get a sponsor for some small project, as you are experienced in that, like if you were starting professional and you would have to come to the sponsor like cold contact, you don't know anybody in the business, how would you do it? What would you advise?
Come to the PIN conference. That's the first start. First step is already solved. You mean as an artist, or for the festival, or for the?
Skills can be transferable to.
I mean, as an artist, but you as professionals, I don't think it's that different to ask for money.
It's not
being-
different. It's not different at all. You need to just to
Ring the
find
bell.
The right person.
no. First of all, you need to see your values and what you have, what is your product, and then to see the needs of the sponsor, and then to see how to connect them. If you can't do that, you just make presentation, 3 slides of presentation, and say, okay, if you present your product in this way.
But how do you find this kind of? I'm not sure whether me as
the person?
the company. How
Yeah,
do you?
that's a little bit of exploration. You need to see which agency is representing the company, and then you find anyone from that agency, or you can even write to info@that agency's name.com. Send, I have a project.
And good
can
luck
you
with that.
No, but when you are starting, you have to know, do you have something to sell or you need support? So if you have something to sell, of course, this is called sponsorship, and you can get sponsorship because they are selling to them something. But if you need support because it is good for you and it's
Donation.
also good, then you need a donation.
Yes.
So if you don't know how to sell, and if you don't know if your thing is sellable, then
Find a manager.
ask for a donation. But there is something, if there is something to sell, but you know, in companies, there are 2 different parts of the company who are taking care of that. So
Yeah, absolutely.
somebody is taking care about charity, and somebody is taking care at the end of the day of selling something and offering business. So this is one of the things you have to know when you approach them. But if you approach them, will you give me something, or would you buy something from me? That's not the right approach. So first do the homework.
Yeah, make it look like partnership. That's always the best,
Yes.
the best option.
But offer it to the right person, like you said.
Yeah.
Because
Bojan could help. If you're
yeah.
from Macedonia,
Yes.
Bojan could help.
if you
Valdimir.
need to...
Yeah, Poland has Bojan, definitely one Bojan. I think that we have run out of time. Thank you everybody for listening to us and for your comments, and one big round of applause for our guests, and see you at lunch. See you back there in an hour, I think.
And
or
1
half an
o'clock in
hour.
the morning.
At 1 o'clock in the morning.
Drinking panel.
Drinking panel with 2 of you.
Yes, of course.
She already
And
started.
we will bring some booze, so come.
Yeah, and my concert at about, I think,
Yeah.
12:30. Just before, we have a warm-up
I
for your
hope that we
drinking
won't
show.
be too drunk for your concert.
It's a warm-up for drinking. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.